Hello everyone, it's Sri from Math Rules, and welcome to my video on Pythagorean Theorem. So the Pythagorean Theorem was discovered by a guy named Pythagoras, hence the name Pythagorean Theorem, but if you didn't know, there you go, that's a fact. And he basically stated or said that if you have a right triangle, and you know it's a right triangle if it has a square, and the square basically means 90 degrees. The square represents 90 degrees in a triangle or any other shape. And it doesn't have to be just this corner. It could be, if it was facing this way, it would be here. And if it was facing this way, not the best drawer ever. Let's just assume that's a square. It could be there. But because we drew it as over here, we're going to have to just deal with it. And I'm going to erase this part because I need some space. So, basically the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You might be asking what a, b, and c is. Let me tell you. So, let's start off with the c. The c is basically this. It's not neat. Is that, or the hypotenuse, which I'm going to abbreviate as hype because that's what it's normally abbreviated. Okay. And the A is basically the short leg. And it's called a leg. I don't know why, but it's called a leg. Squared, or plus, the long leg squared. Long leg squared. So, basically, it means A, B, and C. We could just write it as that. And, so, yeah, the Pythagorean Theorem. And you should also write down this stuff. It's very important. Especially the Pythagorean Theorem and also this diagram. Wait. Also the diagram, which is all of this, all of that. You should also write all of this stuff down because this is very important. And, one second, let me just, okay, whatever. Okay, so, let's start off with the problem. For example, you have 3, 4, and you have to find out what C is equal to. We can use the Pythagorean Theorem, which is a squared, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We can use that to find out what c equals. And note how I said c and not c squared. So we're going to have to do some square rooting at the end, but more on that later. So, we know that a equals 3 and b equals 4. So we just plug it in. So we get 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. And what's 3 squared? Well, if you watched my sister's video on PEMDAS, then you'll know how to do this. But if you didn't, then go watch that right after this video. So, 3 squared is basically 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 4 squared, which is 4 times 4, which is 16, equals c squared. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to combine or add, equals c squared. We're going to combine these two to get 9 plus 16 equals 25 equals c squared. This is where some people might get confused and they just say, hey, this is the answer. Done. We're done. Nope, it's not. Sorry. Because we have to find out what c is, not c squared. So, what we do is c squared equals 25. Let me just rewrite it. So, c squared equals 25. What we're going to do is basically, we have to either multiply this with its inverse, which is times 1/2 on both sides, or c to 1/2's power, I guess, I don't know. Or you could write it as c squared, the square root of c squared, the square root of 25. And it's a math rule that that square root is equal to half when we're writing it as an exponent. So here, I'll show it both ways, where I'll write it as a fraction. Fraction equals 25 to that. And I'll also do the square root way. So, first, let's simplify this. We could cross divide, and those two will divide, so you get 1 and 1. And 1 times 1 is basically 1, obviously. So c to the power 1, or c to the power of 1, I guess same thing, whatever, is equal to c, because that's basically saying c times 1. Or c, yeah. And we can write 25 as 5 squared, right? And we do the same thing as we did with the c squared. We just cross divide, we get 5 to the power 1, and then we get c equals to 5 to the power 1, or c equals 5. Now, if you didn't do the half stuff, like if you didn't write it as half and you just wrote it as square root, that might actually be easier. Because I think it requires less space and work. Just do square root, and it's a rule that those just divide. Not divide, cancel each other out, the square and the square root. And the square root of 25, we know that's 5. So, voila, the answer, c equals 5. And by the way, just a little bonus on what the next video is going to be on. 3, 4, and 5 is the most commonly used Pythagorean triple. And I'm going to teach you guys Pythagorean triple in the next video. But just for now, this is what, just a little hint, I guess. So, let's do one more problem. A equals 10. B equals 2. And let's find out C, because that's obviously what we have to do. But it doesn't have to be C. For example, if we were given A and we were given C, we could solve for B. And if we were given if we were given B and C, we could solve for A. Actually, let's just do one of those problems, because I didn't do those yet. So, if we don't know what A is, we get B equals 5, for example. And, wait 1 second. That looks, okay. B equals 5 and C equals 10. Let's find out A. So here what we're going to do is we're just going to have to plug in what we know into the Pythagorean Theorem. Almost a triple. So A squared plus 5 squared, which is 25, equals C squared, or 10 squared, which equals 10 times 10, which equals 100. Yes. So A squared plus 25 equals 100. Now what we have to do is we have to basically isolate A. In order to do that, we're going to have to subtract 25 on both sides. When we do that, this gets canceled because those are opposites. Or basically 25 minus 25 is 0. And then you just subtract 100. You subtract 25 from 100, which leaves you with 75. But that's not the answer. 1 second. That's not the answer. Let me actually... There. So you get left with A squared equals 75. And we have to find out what A is. So don't do that mistake where you're like one of those people who just leaves it, be like, oh, A equals 75. Well, you're wrong. I'm sorry, but no. You have to square root both sides, as we did with the last problem. And you get, that cancels out, and you get square root of 75. I'm sure you could simplify that more. You could write it as 25. Square root of 25 times 3. And that's simplifying radicals. That's going to be another video. You could write it as that, or you could just leave it as square root of 25. That equals A. Now, one last problem. We're going to have to solve for B this time. So, let's say A equals 7. B equals question mark, because why not? Or B equals X. Let's just say X. Wait, no. Actually, B equals question mark, yeah. And then C equals 3. Now let's solve for, oh wait. 3. Now let's solve for b. 7 squared plus b squared equals 3 squared. Yeah. Let's just rewrite that here. Equals 3 squared. 3 squared. Now we just simply just square them. Or 7 times 7 is 49 plus b squared equals 3 times 3 or 9. And then this is where it's not really that tricky actually. Because you just minus 49 on both sides. But if you don't know how to do this, just think it like this. Just think where you do this. Just switch it. But the problem is, in the end, you're going to have to write down the negative sign. Because the bigger number is 49. And 49 is bigger than 9. Just ignore the signs for now. Wait 1 second. The 49 is, just ignore the signs. We'll look at those later. The 49 is bigger than 9, right? So we have to, when we're adding or subtracting, we have to keep the sign of the bigger number. Because 49 is bigger than 9, the final answer is going to be negative. Because that's the sign of the 49. We're not looking if 9 or negative 49 is bigger. We're looking at if 9 or 49 is bigger. So you can write this as 49 minus 9 equals 40. That's correct so far. But we have to keep the negative because of this. So that's just a little trick. And 49. Wait, that's not the answer. 49, yeah, equals b squared. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have to write b squared equals negative 40, the square root of negative 40. In Algebra 1 and lower levels, this is just the final answer. It has no real solutions. So you're not going to get any real number or any positive or negative number. So it has no real solutions, basically. But there's a symbol known as I, which equals the square root of negative 1. So we can write this as I times the square root of 40. And then we can simplify this to square root of 40 times square root of 10 to root 10. So you get 2 root 10, and I'm pretty sure you can't simplify that anymore. So we're just going to leave it as that. But you have to include the I too. This is simplifying. But you should just leave it as, where is it? 1 second. You could just leave it as negative 40, the square root of negative 40, or 2I root 10. Thank you for watching, guys. This was a pretty long video, and I hope you guys subscribe. And next video is going to be on Pythagorean triples. And please put in the comments on what we should do next. I mean, after the Pythagorean triples. Like, what we should do next, like what topic. And we'll basically choose on which one's the most popular, or which one that we feel like would be the best for you guys. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, drop a like, don't forget to share, don't forget to put comments, and yeah. Bye, guys.